What's up YouTube? Welcome to my channel. This is my very first video and I'm very excited, nervous. I apologize if this is an utter mess. It's my first time doing something like this. I am going to share with you my PCOS story, what I've been through, how I got diagnosed, what I'm going through right now, and it's just basically for awareness for women out there who have PCOS. I know that when I was going through it, I didn't really find much on the internet. A lot of it was in daunting blogs. I had a lot of forums and a lot of things going on. There wasn't really much content out there that was user-friendly, and it is something that is still unclear and not properly diagnosed. So there isn't much out there, especially for us regular folk who can't understand medical journals. I've tried, they're not easy. Let's get to it. This is probably going to be my longest video, just because it explains everything from where it started to where I am now. And then everything else from now on will be supplements I use, makeup I use, my fitness schedule, how it affects me, so on and so forth. And it's just to basically give tips for women out there who have no idea what to do. I am not a professional anyway. I have no qualifications. I am just speaking from my own personal experience. And for those that want to know, I am 26 years old. So, but I was diagnosed with PCOS when I was in my early 20s. Am I still in my early 20s? No, late 20s. Okay, so let's go from the beginning. At 14, I was put on the pill at a really, really young age because I had really bad acne, and my doctor suggested going on the pill. It would clear everything up. I know a lot of women had the exact same story. I was on the pill, and within a month I gained a ton of weight, and I was young and I was confused, and I went to my doctor. I think I gained like 8 pounds in 1 month, and my doctor was like, no, it's because you're going through puberty. It's not because of the pill, and like kind of shoved me off. And I was like, okay. And when you're young, you listen to professionals and you think that they know what's best and that you must be going crazy. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm going through puberty and I'm gaining all this weight. Throughout high school, I was really active and ate really quite healthy. My parents always cooked healthy meals, but I just kept gaining weight and I didn't know why. And again, I had this idea that I was going through puberty and that's what was going on. So, okay, fine. When I was in my early 20s, I think around 21, 22, I had been on the pill now since I was 14, and I was like, right, I need a break. And it was like an instinctual thing. I need a break, I need to go off the pill. When I went off, I didn't get my period, and it was like months and months, and I was like, what's going on? So I went to the doctor, I think around 4 months, and they were like, oh, girl, it's fine. You've been on the pill. It takes months to like get your body to get used to it. Like, come back and see us in 8 months if you still don't have your period. And I was like, okay. So in 8 months, went back, still no period. And I got the whole, only 8 months, but you've been on the pill since you were 14. Come back in a year and a half and we'll reassess. They also blamed that I didn't have my period because at that point I was working out quite a lot. I was going to the gym 6 or 7 times a week and for a couple hours every day. And in my head, I'm like, I'm not an athlete. I'm not a professional, and I don't have a very, very low percentage of body fat. There's no reason why I should not have my period because I'm going to the gym a couple times a week. But anyway, so they shoved me off again. At this point now I was probably 23 or something like that, and it had been 2 years. In that point of them shoving me off, I was seeing so many people. I went to see a homeopath, I went to a Chinese doctor, and I got acupuncture. I had different types of herbs. I was trying different types of diets, all of these things, and I just didn't know what was going on. I kept gaining weight. My acne got so bad off the pill, like cystic and like painful, and it was like everywhere. And if I figure out how to edit videos properly, I'll like try and show these photos of how I looked. My hair started falling off, all of these things that I didn't correlate to PCOS because I didn't know I had PCOS. And it was just an awful experience. I was working out so much, I was eating so clean, and my body reacted by gaining weight. And everyone just said, oh, it's probably what you're eating, or like you're probably not working out the right way. And all of my friends who ate garbage and didn't work out at all were like much thinner, much fitter than I ever was, even though I was like on such a great fitness regime. So it was really frustrating. It was really demotivating to try so hard in all areas of my like health life, fit life, fitness life. I don't know. It was really frustrating to work out hard and eat really clean and respond by having your body just get worse. So at 2 years, I went back to the doctor and I'm like, something is wrong. You need to figure out what it is. And at that point, they're like, oh, right, it's been 2 years. Like, we're gonna go do some blood tests. We're gonna do an ultrasound. And so they did an ultrasound on my uterus and my ovaries, and they found that I had a lot of cysts all over my ovaries. And based off my blood work that came back, I had really high levels of androgens, really high glucose levels or insulin levels, sorry. All of these things, which they then determine as PCOS. PCOS doesn't have a way of, I don't know how to explain this. You have to find out PCOS if you have it by process of elimination. There's no like blood test they can do that confirms you have PCOS. It's basically them grouping a bunch of symptoms together and being like, right, all of these symptoms are usually correlated with someone who has PCOS. So again, now at 24, I was like, okay, cool. I have this thing called PCOS. What does it mean? And I went to the store. There was nothing really out there. I got told by doctors that I had a few options. One would be to go on some kind of hormonal therapy, which basically gave my body the hormones that I was missing, because my body stopped producing progesterone with a bunch of other ones, which is why I wasn't able to get my period. Or I go back on the pill, which would give me the hormones I needed, and I had to use a medication called metformin, which basically regulated my insulin levels. And I was like, is there anything else I can do? And they're like, nope, I literally, kid you not, I had a doctor say, you need to go on the pill or you will die. Literally what he said was, your uterus will build up so much blood over the months that you're not getting your period that it'll build up and stay in there and you'll get cancer. Thinking of it now, I'm like, why did I listen to that? That is like the biggest load of bull I've ever heard in my life. But at 24, which was only a few years ago, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, that sounds right. So I went back on the pill, took this thing called metformin. My story after that was metformin made me feel so ill. Because basically it lowers your insulin levels down, and it made me feel hyperglycemic. Like every time I took it, I felt like I was gonna throw up, so I couldn't take that anymore. So I was just taking the pill. At this point, I had still had all my weight that I had gained over those 2 years without the pill, so I gained around 35 pounds, which is quite a lot, especially for someone who, again, like I said, was eating quite clean, working out all the time. So I gained 35 pounds, and I went on the pill, and I've been on the pill up until age 26. So that time on the pill, it took me about 2 years to lose that weight. And it was really, really difficult to lose weight. So beginning of this year, I started getting complications, acne, even though I was on the pill, acne just like cystic and everywhere, really bad digestive issues, a lot of issues with like infections all the time. All of these things were happening to my body, insomnia, like the list goes on and on and on. And something in me was like, it's the pill. It has to be the pill. Like, your body is rejecting these hormones. Like, you need to stop. So I went to my doctor and I was like, I'm gonna stop the pill. And I got the same thing. You know, we really don't suggest someone with PCOS stop the pill. Like, this is your body's only way of getting these hormones. La 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 la. And like, I get it. They're right. Like, that is how I would get the hormones. But at the same time, if your body isn't agreeing with you, like, you know, they don't know. You know. So I took my last pack of pills a couple months ago. I still haven't gotten my period, but I am going to see a naturopath, and with her I've started a new whole situation. So now I've been 2 months off the pill, and I thought I would just kind of videotape my progress, how it's going and what's going on. And those things will all happen in other videos to come. But I thought that I would just share with you my story and what I went through. And I get it, if you are going through this right now and you have PCOS, or maybe you think you have something to do with your hormones, it is an awful feeling as well to have your body reject so many things and you not know why, because it's internal and you can't really diagnose yourself. And I'm really bad at this whole like talking in front of a camera thing. I swear in reality I can like talk and like it's totally fine, but when you have to sit in front of a camera and like get your thoughts together, it's a little bit more difficult. Next few videos that are coming up are things that I've dealt with, things that I found work, didn't work, my symptoms. Again, supplements I use, products I use, books I've read, blogs I go on, all to hopefully help you. I mean, it might not help you at all. You might try these things and they're awful, but it's just what has worked for me. It has been, 4, 5, 6 years now of me dealing with this. And the least I can do is offer my help back, just because there isn't a lot out there. So if you have PCOS or you have some hormonal issues and there's content that you'd like me to do, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Please let me know. At least one of you watches this and is like, oh, cool, I can use this. Okay, that's all it's for. I'm gonna try uploading videos as often as I can, but please subscribe. That's what all YouTubers do. Please subscribe to my channel because it really helps and it'll allow me to upload content as much as possible. I'll see you soon.